Capricorn.
Hello Capricorn, this is your astrological forecast for March 2016. And we have a fabulous month. We have a total solar eclipse and we also have a lunar eclipse this month, alongside with a long list of a lot of transits coming up. February was beautiful. It was slower. We didn't have that many transits, so we were allowed to kind of catch that wave and flow a little bit. But here now this month we have action. So let's start off here just saying that your main focus here with the Sun and also Mercury, Neptune coming in here now to your third house is all about you and wanting to get out and about. You might feel that itch to be a little bit more on the move. You could also come to experience more interaction with your siblings or your neighbors or your closer community. It's a month of communication and focusing on those things. Now, since it is the third house, if you like to write, this might be a month where you're going to feel highly inspired. Whether you're writing a journal or writing a novel, third house is all about communication. If you're needing to present a presentation, you will communicate extremely well. Especially also because transit of Neptune is moving through here very, very slowly, and that is the channel and the source of higher inspiration. Also, we have the solar eclipse coming here. This sign meaning that when we have an eclipse, it will open up doors for new beginnings, and it will really increase our timelines. It will speed things up, as you will come to see. So there could be news about anything here that can create a new door opening for you. But I'm going to make a special video just for the eclipses, so stay tuned for it, where we can get a little bit more in-depth information on them. But then you know your solar eclipse is going to be right here in the third house. Let's look at Venus and Mercury. Venus being love and Mercury communication. Now these two planets are cruising through your second house for money and income. You're going to be looking at maybe even new streams of income that could come to you. And since it's in the sign of Aquarius, Aquarius will always think outside of the box for something a little bit unconventional, or you might just come up with a new idea for something. So pay attention to that. There might be some more expenses going out because Venus loves to shop, but there could also be money coming in. Now Mercury is in this area here just for a little bit before she moves into that third house to join up with the Sun, the new moon, the eclipse, and Neptune. So just those first few days of March, pay attention because your mind will be on money matters and how to improve, and that will give you an extra boost right there. Mars is in the sign of Scorpio, where it has been there throughout that of February, and you'll have it here for the first week of March. Now, Mars was the ancient ruler of Scorpio, so it's really comfortable here. But when it's cruising through this area of your chart, it really helps you energize and focus your goals and your destiny here towards your hopes and dreams. But it's also you using more energy and time with your friends, and maybe some of you have been engaging into new groups that can come to behoove you for a long, long time. Any new people that you meet at this time are meant to be a part of your life. Now the last 3 weeks of March, Mars will be moving into your 12th house just to kind of stack up a little bit on its energy, to really reload those inner batteries, because what it's doing is taking a little rest. It's been 2 years going around your chart right now, and so it's just like resetting itself so that when it gets out into that first house, it's ready to go for another 2-year cycle. So even Mars needs to rest up every once in a while. We have Jupiter, which has been and still is cruising your 9th house for higher consciousness. It is you seeking answers to your own personal quest, where you are and where you fit into the overall picture, analyzing That's what Virgo does best, right? And it's in the sign of Virgo. And perhaps maybe even some of you are researching or studying or preparing for what is to come in the late summer onwards, when Jupiter then will be moving into your 10th house of career, which is going to be a fabulous year for you with a lot of expansion. So whatever you're doing right now, I think that is good. Now, Jupiter will be retrograde until May 10th, so it gives you an extended time in this area here to really catch up and just embrace the journey till this point, but also to look at what you have achieved and where you need to go from here. Saturn also retrograde from the 25th of March and will be to August 13th. And Saturn right now is working in your subconscious area, 12th house. So that is like really working through long-term karmic situations and so forth. But it's also you empowering yourself with spirituality. Saturn likes to master. So it's mastering the 12th house, learning you, teaching you how to listen to that higher self, your intuition and so forth. So some of you will really start seeing how this is working out for you. Then we have the outer planets, touching on them just very quickly because they're going to be there for a long time. Yes, years actually. Uranus in the 4th house, the change up within home, family structure, your relationships to your parents and so forth. But it's also real estate, the home you own, and who you are on the inside. So Uranus will come with ups and downs, unexpected situations, turns and twists and so forth. It's never boring wherever Uranus shows up. And right now it's in the home environment for you. Neptune in the 3rd house, communication, that is you coming across very creative, very spiritual, with a great sense and a flair of imagination. Some of you will be feeling, over these years, more of a need to get out and about and explore other regions. Neptune is like water, it wants to flow, right? And then Pluto, of course, your 1st house. How's it going with your personal transformation? That is the big question. For those of you who have already had Pluto touching on your sun, you know what I've been talking about here. This total transformation of self, inside out. Sometimes it feels like we're dying and then rebirthing, and that is what the planet is all about, the rebirth of. And so once we get to that end of it, things are fantastic. It actually gives you a new life. But once we're in that transformative state, it can be difficult, it can be rough. So some of you are feeling it, Capricorn, but it's not all of you. It's for those of you who are experiencing Pluto on your sun. The very same degree. You could feel it a degree prior to and a degree after, but then it gives. But it takes time. Pluto does not move very quickly. So listen here, when we start out the month, we have a beautiful Venus and Uranus. They are sextile. In this aspect here, Venus is love and it's money and those things that you truly appreciate. Uranus is coming in with a little unexpected surprise, and we love that. Venus being in your 2nd house and Uranus in your 4th house. So that has to do with money matters or romance connected to family or family members. On the 6th, we have you, the sun, and it is sextiling Pluto, that sense of inner transformation. It's touching that transformative point in your chart, and it's squaring off on Saturn. So this is where you're going to feel that you're using your intuition, whether this is something you want to move on with, break away from, whatever it is for you. But Saturn is always there looking out for you to find the growth that you need, and Saturn is your ruler, right? So if you are questioning anything here this first week of March, also because the sun is opposing Jupiter, and Jupiter is always very generous, but when it's opposite the sun, it's like trying to find a perspective, trying to find a balance so it doesn't become lopsided, but to find that perfect balance. Then I'd say, listen to those questions that you have, but don't make the decision yet. but it's opening you. You're on a quest, so to speak, that first month, no, first week. But then here on the second week onwards, 14th, 15th, you're going to feel that this is really going to come to the surface. Now is the time to look at what you have worked with thus far. And of course, now we've had the total solar eclipse on the 8th, okay? So the eclipse opens you up to new beginnings, and it really speeds up any process. So on the 14th, Mercury, which is our thoughts, the way we think, and the way we process and analyze things, first it's going to square off on Saturn on the 14th. Then it's going to sextile Pluto, and then also oppose Jupiter, pretty much touching on the very same planets that the Sun did in the first week. But now we're thinking it through, we're getting more information, we're feeling it deeper, and then of course we have Venus and Mars, they're square too on the 14th. So those 2 days, everything seems to be going on all at once. The way we're feeling, the way we're thinking, it's time to make decisions, especially because that solar eclipse came in, probably opening up a new doorway, and now we have to decide whatever it is that we do want. So I'd say that the answer to it, we never do really want to act when we're still questioning, because then we're still a little bit filled of doubt. We want that conviction. When we know and we feel at one with something, that's when we're ready to act. This is coming to you here on the 16th. The rest of the month here, I feel things are really now going to show you. Here, Jupiter with Pluto in a trine, that's you, the first house and the ninth house, your personality, your higher consciousness, beautifully balanced in the power of Pluto, that transformative area within your chart, right? Really opening up with Jupiter, showing you the overall larger vision. This is when we feel that we are convinced that we're on the right path. So if you can hold on, if possible, to the 16th onward, whatever what you've been questioning earlier on, this will behoove you. And the 20th, we have Venus, which is love and the things that you value, here with Neptune. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So we have love, and we have passion, we have desire, and then the cosmic love, the ideal image of. And when the two of them come together here, Capricorn, this is when you just want to celebrate, because it feels so beautiful. And for you, this is taking place in the 3rd house. So that's communication, or also short distance travel. So if you're out and about traveling with your significant other, you will have a beautiful and blessed time, a perfect date night. If you're single, you could come to meet somebody who is very, very special on this day. So do note the 20th as a highlight here this month. On the 24th, Mercury, which was questioning everything and overanalyzing a few things here earlier in the month, is now on track, empowered by Mars. And Mars is your drive, your goal, your, I won't say your destiny, but it's your goals where you're feeling very fired up about. And Mercury is now affirming to you that you're on the right path. The people you speak with here on this day will also come back with good feedback. It's like green lights, ready to go, and off you go. Especially because the Sun too is coming in to a trine to Mars as well 2 days later. And 2 days isn't really all that much, because it's still feeling the first aspect of Mercury to Mars. Now the Sun is powering up too. And I call these power days because also Venus, that was in a little bit of a difficult crunch there when it was squaring off on Mars, is now beautifully sextiling Pluto. Pluto being that pivotal point where things really magically turn with depth and desire and passion. Well, put Venus in there, we have bliss in heaven. Beautiful, beautiful day to cut through to the goals that you have set, to begin or launch anything new. Venus, besides ruling love and romance, is also money. And Pluto rules big money. So either big money or also big passion. So wonderful days, definitely ring those around on your calendar. And then we come to the end of the month. Here we have the full moon, which will be on the 23rd, 3 degrees in Libra, which is showing up in your area of career. And so this illumination is really important, not only because it's a full moon, but it's also a lunar eclipse. Now, we can come to see that things come to an end under lunar eclipses, just like new beginnings come with solar eclipses. So whatever you might be ending, it could be the end of a project, or it could even be the end of a job that you've been waiting to end. So yeah, 23rd, and then here we come in the 29th with Mercury. Communication, news, conversations, beautifully powerful with Saturn. That's you and your authority, but it could also be you having communications with somebody else who represents authority. In this case, I see that you come across as very clear, very sharp, very serious, carrying yourself beautifully and expressing those things that are extremely important to you for others to hear. So the 31st, yes, then you will have an exciting, unexpected piece of news, maybe a wow factor coming in there, Capricorn, and that is when Mercury will get news from Uranus. And this conjunction here for you is in the 4th house, having to do with family or family members. It could be related to home or real estate, so you'll have to see how that works. But conjunctions mean a planet meets within the same degree, so they're so tightly upon each other, and it always ignites new beginnings. So this can have to do with changes coming in as far as where you live or how you live. Your Taroscopes for March will definitely give you some extra insights and of actions and activities taking place this month. So you do want to go listen to them as well. And if you listen early, let me just give you a little tips here, that if you do, come back and listen to it by the end of the period, because that's when you see what actually has fallen into place. So listen, have a wonderful month of March, and I will see you in April. Bye now.